Okay, I'm not seeing people in here. If anybody's here, please leave a message in the chat if you can find the chat, so that I know that we've got some people here. Okay, yeah, there's two people. Hi, Graham. Thanks. Okay. You can see the screen and hear me, yeah? Great, okay. Only three people here. Paul just came in. Okay, so we've got Paul, we've got Siegfried, and Graham. All right, we'll do it anyway. So I didn't see many questions. I saw your question, Graham, about the sub recon and rank recon and the magic recon. So what I did, basically, I just put some random fun kind of training things together, so that we had something to talk about in case there wasn't that many questions, just so that we would have a few things to go through. And some of this is actually kind of fun stuff. I like this kind of stuff. I'll go through this first, and then we'll do some questions, okay? Just so that we've got something to break the ice, because there was nothing really scheduled apart from questions, but there was only Graham's questions in the Facebook page. So we will come to that, your questions there about the recon tools, but I'll just cover some of this first. Now we got Joy here, and we also got Michael here as well. Okay, it's five of us, five of you, and me, six of us. All right, so I was just thinking, 2 3 hours ago, what can I do to make this interesting? So some things that I had mentioned in the past webinar, and I thought we'd just dig a little bit deeper into, and a couple of things I've just noticed from discussions going on social media, Twitter, basically. So I was going to do that. Okay, so one of the things I like to do with prompts, ChatGPT, is kind of random. It's not really specific to Parasite SEO, because we're going to have a tool that does articles with the EEAT. But what I like to do with ChatGPT is, when I want to get the best prompts, I ask it what the best prompts should be. Okay, so when you've seen those pre-launch guides, that was me just testing stuff out, and I was getting some decent sort of responses. But then I would take those prompts, and then I would go and ask ChatGPT, what's the best prompts that we could use? Okay, and by doing that, it's giving us from AI what we should use for AI, so it kind of helps for that purpose. And this was one of the ones that I got for the EEAT. Okay, so it's just a simple prompt, and what you're supposed to do with this is, when you're doing an affiliate review post, use this section here. I'm going to give you the link to this. Okay, and just put this into the chat. If you use that section here, you're just going to fill in the blanks where you've got information. Now, you can even get ChatGPT to give you that information. You can say, like, make up a persona of someone that's been doing affiliate marketing for 9 years, and in whatever field, category, industry, etc., and just get ChatGPT to fill in the blanks for that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into it. It's one of those things you just play around with and see if you can come up with something quite good. But what I'm noticing more and more is that I think Claude is much better than ChatGPT. And the sole reason is that we get kind of longer articles without having to reprompt many times. And also, it doesn't sound as robotic as what ChatGPT does. Okay, so it's a very, very good prompt to put into Claude if you fill in the details. It would take you about 10 minutes to do a really good affiliate review post if you were doing one manually with Claude. Okay, and the most time it would take you is just to fill in the blanks. but you could just ask ChatGPT, like, fill in the blanks for me. I'm an experienced affiliate marketer in the internet marketing niche, and just, just tell it whatever it needs to be told to it, and then ask it again, what is the best prompts for me to use given this information? And you will get some interesting responses. Okay. One of the things I mentioned on Sunday's webinar was about lead magnets. Okay. Now, I mentioned, as I always do, about using the lead blaster checklist. The reason I mention them is because they're very, very easy to do, and they rank very well. Those Chrome extension pages, they rank very well, and you don't need landing pages and thank you pages, etc. So it's just one-time work, and you can benefit from it kind of long term. But there's new opportunities now, especially with ChatGPT being able to, giving you the ability to do GPTs. Now, this is a really good thing for when you're doing your Parasite posts, because you can create an image that is essentially just a call to action image. Okay. And you can get them to go to a simple landing page and then redirect them. Now, what is good about this is, especially if you're doing this within the internet marketing niche, okay, you will see, if you spend any time on Twitter, you will see people sharing kind of average, sometimes above average checklists, lead magnets, strategies, tactics, that kind of stuff. And anything to do with ChatGPT is getting huge amounts of shares. Okay, even if it's bang average, it's still getting lots and lots of shares. And there's probably ChatGPT that's been writing the tweets, or the posts as they call them now on Twitter. They're not called tweets anymore. And they've just got this system where they just keep posting stuff all the time and making these little tactics and telling people to do something like share, like, follow, and I will DM you PDF or something like that. So basically what they're doing is they're leading up to that kind of thing. So even a bang average lead magnet can generate, hundreds or thousands of new followers for them on Twitter, and plus they're getting people subscribing to their newsletters and email lists and stuff like that. Okay, but the lead magnets are very, very simple to create, and one of the best ways to do that right now would be to create a GPT. Okay, so if you haven't created a GPT, I'm going to do one right now. Okay, it's very quick, it's very easy, and it's kind of painless. It's not anything difficult. We can take it further than what I'm going to show you, but I'll just show you on a basic level so you know how to do it. And if you're able to create a simple landing page, then that's perfect for being able to get people to sign up to an email list, which is going to be your biggest asset in whatever niche you go into. And from there, you can redirect them to the GPT. Okay, so let me just show you this one for example. This is actually quite a good one. This is a GPT someone else did. I'll give you a link to this. It's a Magic Writer. It's actually quite good. And what he's done is he's created this GPT, and you basically start to ask it to outline an article, write an article, etc., etc., and it will go and create sort of long form articles. I will show you how to use this in a couple of minutes. Okay, what I want to do first is show you how to make them. Okay, they're really, really easy to make. So if I click on Explore, okay, and you see up here, create a GPT. And you do need a pro account to do this. Okay, now it's going to say here, I'll help you to build a new GPT. You can say something like make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put in here, make creative that generates social media open graph images optimized for Google Discover. Okay, that's going to be a very, very hot topic. In fact, it's starting to build up already. And I'll just put that in. Then it's going to prompt me back. It's going to give me some things to do back. I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, really? Okay. Hold on. What did you see previously? Let's see if I can pull that back. Share. You see it now? And there was nothing there previously. Oh, darn. Okay. Okay, I need to get used to this. Probably might take 2 or 3 times on these sessions. It's called sessions, this webinar platform. Might take 2 or 3 times before I fully understand it. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to cover it again. Okay, so in ChatGPT, okay, I started talking about the magic writer. It's a simple GPT, and it's very, very good GPT for generating articles. I will do a demo of that in a few minutes. But first, I want to show you how to create a GPT. Okay, and these are great for lead magnets, especially right now. Okay, GPT or ChatGPT is such a huge topic that you would find it hard to fail if you created something simple like a GPT and gave it away. Okay, even if you're asking for an email address. Okay, you've just got to think of the ideas and the angles that you want to use. Okay, so what we do to be able to create one is we click on Explore. Okay, all of these up here, up until the ChatGPT here, these are all GPTs. Okay, some I've done myself, some I've got from other people just to test, etc. Okay, so once you clicked on Explore, you click on Create a GPT, and it will say here, I'll help you to build a new GPT, and say something like make a creative who helps generate visuals for new products. Okay, so I'm going to kind of copy that. What I'm going to do is I'll just put a twist on it. Okay, this is something that's going to be for open graph images, optimized for Google Discover. Okay, search engine Lando, search engine Journal had an article last week or the week before, and they put a big emphasis on the images being responsible for the optimization to get to appear on Google Discover, and they're getting huge amounts of traffic. I mean, massive amounts of traffic, and that is probably generating some revenue for them. But if you do this with when you're doing the Parasite SEO stuff, even if that burst of traffic only lasts for maybe 3 or 4 days, it's still massive amounts. You're talking like thousands and thousands of visitors. Okay, so now what I need to do now is wait for it to give me a response. Okay, and its response is going to be asking me what it's going to suggest a name, and then it's going to ask me if I accept it. Then once I accept it, it's going to generate an icon that will go in here, and it will, from that point forward, start to ask me some questions. Okay, let me just see if I can find that article in the meantime. This is interesting stuff, even if it's not directly related to Parasite SEO tool. It's kind of important for the overall marketing that we want to do, because building the audiences is such a massive opportunity if we're able to go and saturate niches, etc. So you want to take advantage of that traffic so that you can remarket to them again and again, and to build your own traffic source via an email list. Then you've got complete control of that, and nobody can take that away from you. Okay, as long as you save it, of course. But okay, something went wrong. I'm going to click on regenerate. It might be a network connection error. Sometimes get that message from them. In the meantime, I'm going to find that article. I'm going to share it with you. And if you take a few minutes to read this later, you'll get some good tips about how to drive traffic from Google Discover. Okay, so it's starting to respond very slow. I don't know if it's their servers or my connection, but it's very, very slow. Okay, so he wants to call it visual optimizer. I'll just say, okay, yes. And we'll just try and get as much of this moving as quickly as possible. Just making sure that I've got two screens here, so I'm looking on the other screen while that's happening over there. So now it's going to generate a profile picture, and from there we just, well, it looks horrible, but I'll accept it for now anyway, just for the sake of moving forward quickly. So it's created this icon for us. Now it's going to ask me more questions. It's actually prompting me at this point. Okay, so it's asking what specific guidance I want to give it. So what I want to do is I'm going to take the information from the search engine journal article. Image size needs to be 1600 times 840. I'll give you this article in a second, the link to this article in a second. Okay. That's what they say is the perfect image size, and that one image can drive thousands of clicks. Okay, so not so much about editing the metadata. It's about the headlines, and it's about the images. It's about this CTR. Okay, that is, it's kind of similar to the YouTube algorithm in some ways, where they are looking at CTR. They're looking at time spent on the article. It's kind of not quite SEO, but it still is optimization in its own way. Yeah. And what they've found is this image size will help them to, in combination with the headlines, will help them to get just about every article they publish onto Google Discover. And it's a massive spike in traffic. I mean, it's way beyond, search engine optimization kind of page one ranking traffic, because half of the searches don't result in a click for the SEO stuff even on page one. Okay, but with the Google Discover, it's a much higher CTR. Okay, and because it's a much higher CTR, we really should get to know what we can as and when that information is being released, especially from people who are using it and using it very, very successfully. Okay. Okay, so now it's asking me a question again. How would you like it to communicate? Should it have a formal tone, casual and friendly? I'll put it in casual and friendly. I'll put that into the chat over here instead of into the chat box. Yeah, but you can also, Paul, you can also get ChatGPT to design the image as well. Whether you get the right size or not, maybe Claude can do it. I don't know if Claude can do images, but you can get AI. There's Midjourney and Leonardo and those other sort of well-known sort of image AI tools, or you can use Canva. I thought I clicked for that to be sent. Press the enter button, nothing happened. Right, okay. So it's asking me what else we need to do. I'm not going to go too deep into this. If you put some thought into it, you can make them really nicely done, but you don't want to go into too much detail, especially for the purpose that we are building them. Okay, the purpose we're building them is so that we can build an email list. You want to make it useful, but what I find with this is the more instructions you give it, the less effective it is. Okay, so you want to keep it simple, and it's just going to save you some time. Okay, so all I want to add to this is say images must be photo realistic. That's all I want. You can see it started to create some prompts. Okay, you can keep those prompts, or you can use them, or you can change them. Okay, I'll wait for that to finish, and I will show you in the configure section over here how we can edit these or get rid of them, or change them in any way you want. Okay. Yeah, if you read that article later, you will get a better understanding. But it's not the first time I've seen that being mentioned on Twitter. I'm in Twitter every day because I pick up so many tips and ideas, and especially about marketing stuff. Helps me keep on top of what is going on with search engine optimization, YouTube, AI, etc. And if I spend just 1 or 2 hours, not even 2 hours, if I just browse it throughout the day when I'm taking a break, kind of thing, if I'm having a coffee or whatever, I go into Twitter and I pick up some some good up-to-date pieces of information that I can use. Okay, so we've got all that done here. I'm not going to add more to that. We'll test it in a second. If I click on the configure over here, you can see that these conversation starters are here, and that's what these prompts are. Okay, you can change them, or you can get rid of them. I've seen GPTs with none. I've seen GPTs with just one, and I've seen GPTs that have got 4 that looks completely not useless, but I should have said incomplete. They look incomplete in the sense that this kind of prompt here, how can I make my open graph image stand out in Google Discover? I mean, that's not really what we want this to do. We want it to do something like create an image. What was it, 1600? Let me just create an image of 1600 times 40 pixels. For to be used in Google Discover. It's probably not grammatically correct, but I don't want to waste time. Okay, so you would want to change it and just make it more realistic, okay, for what you want to achieve. There's other things that you can do as well. You can create actions and stuff, and you can connect with Zapier, and it gets a little bit more advanced. And there's some videos on YouTube teach you how to do that kind of stuff. I haven't done that myself yet. I've just done the basic stuff, okay? And what you got over here is a preview, okay? And we haven't saved it yet. And so what I can do is I can test it. And I can say, create an image to be used in Google Discover, and I'll put in here, what can I put? Live marketing workshop, okay, something like that. And just see what it comes up with. Okay, so it's creating a live marketing workshop image optimized for Google Discover. And it's talking about the size. It might, at this point, ask me to confirm if this sounds right, or if I want to change anything. I'm just going to say, yeah, it's right. I usually take it a little bit further and tell it just to make whatever it is I want. And so that we can avoid this kind of thing that's happening here. But it's not terrible for it to give suggestions first. It's just I want to move quickly. I just want to get what I need to get and move quickly. And once this is done, once we save it up here, then it will appear in your ChatGPT over here. Okay. And when you click on it, you will have a URL that's specific to that GPT. And that's all it is. It's very quick and very easy to do. And you can go back and update it anytime as well by clicking on the edit for it. And you just go into the create and you can change. You can start adding new instructions and stuff like that. So it's just giving me information. Yeah. I'm going to say I need image created place. And I can put in here at the same time, you know, make sure it creates the image rather than just give me advice, something like that. Okay, I talked it like I'm talking to a person. My space bar is sticking, and I don't know why. Kind of have to clunk on it. Okay, so this should be interesting. And if it creates a half decent image, then we save it and we've got a ChatGPT done. You've got your own GPT done for that one specific task that's really used for one specific task. The disadvantages are that although you can keep giving it instructions in here, you can't really do like a series of prompts, which is far more effective. Okay. So they're kind of limited right now, but I expect at some point they'll probably take it further. But for now, it's perfect for you to use as a lead magnet. Now that's not perfect, but it's okay. Okay, so you can see it's done, and we can click on save, and you can either make it public, which can get you a lot of traffic, or you can make it only people with the link. I haven't made any public, I just make it people with the link. Okay, so now we have a visual optimizer. This is not a very good one. I just did this quickly, but you can click on it and see for yourself. So what you want to do is you want to then use AI to help you to create copy for a landing page. Okay, and social media posts and stuff like that. That way you can drive traffic to there, and from there you can start to build an audience in whatever niche you want. Okay, so that was supposed to be a 5-minute demo, but everything seems slowed down there. So anyway, well, if you put it into an article, and what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've saved it as an open graph article if you're using WordPress, for example. Okay, then it's got the chance of being picked up. It's not like Google News where you submit your site for approval. Google Discover doesn't work like that. Okay, it just works with sites that are indexed and probably need to have a reasonable amount of posts and history, and probably they need to have some form of the EEAT, in the sense that you might have some references in established websites mentioning you as an expert, or you as an authority or a knowledgeable person within the niche. I think all of that in combination is probably triggering whether you get to appear on the Google Discover. Okay, that's what I think, but I don't know I don't know if we can do this with the Parasite SEO stuff, but it's still interesting to be able to understand, because it's going to be something that is it's already driving a lot of interest, but it's going to be something that everybody's wanting to jump on. I expect that you're going to start to see a lot of courses and stuff coming out, probably priced, you know, if it's a Warrior Plus thing, it's going to be priced just to build an email list. But if it's not Warrior Plus JVZ, there will be people charging $1,000, $2,000 for that kind of information, even though it might be very, very basic information that they have. Okay. And they probably got it from social media, listening to people like Search Engine Journal, and they decide to monetize it and make themselves like an authority on the topic kind of thing. That's people do that kind of stuff. But that's a very quick and easy way to do it. And by the end of it, you've got a link to your own GPT. Okay. Simple landing page will do it. If you go onto AppSumo, I think it's called Distribute. You don't need to purchase this, but I purchased this last night. I haven't used it yet. The reason I purchased it was because it does one page landing pages, and they've got hundreds of templates, etc. And you can use it for, you can put a lock on it, like I've got with the PDF. Do you see when we were giving out the PDFs? Every time we gave out a PDF, we had this opt-in gate here. It does the same, okay? And you can create a landing page with the AI using their tool, and it costs just $59. It's lifetime. That's all you need. You don't need any higher tier, just the $59. And you can create a landing page in 5 minutes, okay? And it will have that opt-in gate, so people can get to wherever you want to send them until they've supplied the email. And if you want them to double verify, then you have to verify as well, okay? Both of that, I mean, this should really take only about 5-10 minutes. It will take you a little bit longer first time, but once you've done it a couple of times, it's really quick and really easy, okay? And the Distribute, if you're using a tool like that, you can have a landing page done 10 minutes. And because it's using AI, you can just feed it the information, and it will write the headline, sub-headline, and that kind of stuff. You know, definitely within 30 minutes, you've got the start of a funnel being built for a lead magnet that is going to be very, very popular because it's to do with ChatGPT, and, you know, a decent landing page, all very quick and all very easy. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that because I think it's so important for what we're doing with the Parasite SEO, that we have the ability to, you know, set goals for every piece of content, so that every piece of content is not just there for the purpose of the keyword and topic saturation kind of thing, but we actually want to do something with the traffic. It's really important that we don't have to keep trying to get fresh traffic constantly with nothing being saved in the background. You want to be collecting as many leads as possible. Okay. Next thing, okay, keyword insights from TikTok. I only discovered this today. Okay, so you can see here, you need to set the country. You can see here I've got Thailand, which I don't want because I'm writing in English, so I want to put United States, for example. Okay, you can see right now what is, you know, the most popular, but you can also put keywords in here. Okay, so I can put in here Christmas, for example. We can see what keywords are trending for Christmas. Okay, and if I go back to where I was before, you will notice that was all buyer keyword modifiers. Okay, if I remove that, free shipping right now, for free, shop now. These are modifiers. These are buyer intent modifiers. 50% off. Learn more, try it. Yeah, some of them are informational intent, but you can see what I mean. They're all sort of call to action modifiers. Okay, let's put another one. Let's say gold. See what comes up. Yellow gold, solid gold, etc., etc. Whatever niche you're in, you can use them. Okay, I put a link in the doc. Okay, it could be useful. I don't know yet how useful it is, but it's something extra that you can look into. Okay, we'll be doing a niche research session, the next one, I'm not going to put this in that session because I haven't used it, I haven't tested it, I haven't done a lot with it, but it's still interesting, worth keeping an eye on. This one here, X versus Y headlines, that has a lot to do with what we're doing, okay, for multiple reasons. When you're doing X versus Y headlines, you can be mentioning 2 products or more, okay? So you could have X versus Y versus Z, or Z, as we say in the UK, okay? And that would give you 3 brand names, which is keyword targeting for 3 different brands of 3 different products. So if it was webinar software, I could be talking about Demio, GoToWebinar, and Webinar Jam, for example, okay? I'm optimizing my title, which is the most, still, you know, the most important sort of on-page factor, the words you've got in your title. I'd be optimizing my title for 3 different products by doing that kind of headline, okay, or 2 in this case. And what you'll find is you've got lower competition for that kind of headline, but it's buyer intent. When people are doing this kind of search, it is buyer intent. They're already far down the journey of gathering information. So they might have been, you know, come to a decision that I'm going to get Webinar Jam or Demio. Which one is best? So they will do a search, X versus Y, like Demio versus Webinar Jam, for example. That is real buyer intent, but those kind of headlines will get traffic, and they will get a reasonable amount of search volume. The search volume is not the most important factor with that kind of thing. No, it's about the conversion, because it is buyer intent kind of headline. The article is going to be buyer intent if you do it like that. So that's one of the biggest benefits that you can do with that. So I tried this with Claude, okay, and you can see what happened here. I put in a simple prompt, really simple prompt. Okay, I've got my kid in the next room, and he's making his kid noises. Can you provide 10 examples of X versus Y headlines for high ticket affiliate marketing in jewelry niche? And this is where it gave me back, okay? And it's giving us, this is really interesting stuff. This is a good way that we could use this for high ticket without actually being product specific. You can do this and recommend a product within your articles, okay? And this is super simple to do, okay? You can just get, you know, AI to suggest it. You don't even need to rack your brains about that. And what you could do then is you can take this and you can start to outline articles, etc. Okay, so let me just give you a demo of that smart writer, whatever it was called, that GPT. And just go over here. Where's the one in the jewelry niche? Oh, it's here. Okay. Let's take this top one. And what we can do, I'll come back into GPT. And this time I'm going to choose this magic writer. Again, not really much to do with ParasiteSEO Pro, but it's just an interesting, fun kind of strategy. This is kind of stuff I get up to when I'm playing around and keeping myself amused and just keeping myself going forward, really. What I can do here is I can say, like, please outline article or the topic of the pattern, commas, okay, inverted commas. And what it will do is it will go and outline the article. And it's really interesting how this works. It's not fast, but it's good quality, reasonably good quality that we get back from it. And you could use this if you want to have like a sort of signature kind of post, a cornerstone post, where you still want to use AI, but you want something a little bit more in depth. ParasiteSEO is designed to be sort of short, punchy articles optimized for SEO and conversion. Okay, if you want a longer piece of content, this is a good way to do it. And this GPT has been quite well built, and it's quite a tricky thing to do as well, because it can, if you give it too much instructions, it can sort of become weaker in its output. So I did this today while I was waiting outside the bank. My girlfriend's in the bank, and I'm playing with this magic writer. I'm just making stuff up, and it was very interesting. I'll show you exactly what I did, and we got a really good article from it as well. The thing is, it's taking time. It feels like it's taking longer on the desktop than what it does on the mobile for some reason. Okay, Paul, just reading an article on simplify.com. They're saying that the best image size for LinkedIn. Yeah, that's for LinkedIn. You can still put more than one article, okay, more than one image. So you've got your sort of header banner thing at the top, but it doesn't mean that you can't put for the other size that's recommended by Search Engine Journal. What they're also recommending, though, is that you add it as the open graph. So any Parasite that allows us to optimize for open graph, that's where we can hit it. It might be we could only do that with sponsored posts. I don't know. I've got no intention right now to start using the sponsored posts. I don't think we need them. I think that we can do pretty much what we want with the free sites like Medium and LinkedIn. Okay, so we're going to get here the article. Okay, and you can see he's got stuff in the background, and this outlines designed to assist in creating a comprehensive 2,000-word article. It's not what I would use for Parasite SEO, but if you want a cornerstone piece of content, this will be interesting. So the next prompt I used was, I think it was something like, please, article, please write the article, section with at least 250 words in each section. Okay. What happened there? I've got a network error. I keep getting this, and I don't know why. Try again. I need to write this on a TXT file so I don't lose it. I was sitting there typing away and not even typing anything. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear my kid in the background. He's 4 years old, and he's kind of funny the way he plays. I need to wait for this. This is much faster on the mobile. Feels kind of frustrating that it's not fast right now. And when we actually tell it to write the article, it will stop at the end of each section, and it will ask for your feedback at the end of each section. And just for speed, I just said, yeah, please continue, please continue, please continue, like that. And so it would go through the article so reasonably quickly. But because it's doing section by section, it means you have to copy paste each section and put it into a Google Doc, which is extra steps. But it's kind of worth it if you really want to just knock out something that is a little bit more like an article that most SEOs would say that you need to write, as in longer and in depth, etc. I wonder if it's their server that's causing the problem. And what we can do with that afterwards as well is you can take that article and you can put it into Claude and tell Claude to rewrite this and make it sound not like ChatGPT, not robotic. At the same time, optimize it for SEO and conversions, something like that. And that will rewrite it, and you can compare the two articles and see what you like, and you might even want to chop and change some parts. Okay, so it's written. Only 3 sections. It's given LSI and NLP keywords. NLP is in natural language, not neuro-linguistic programming. I think Claude have started to release the API, but for limited people. Now it's stopped again, network error. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because it's gone on too long. I thought that would be quick. I thought the last 2 would be just like 5 minutes each, and we could get into the Parasite SEO stuff. But some interesting stuff for you to test and try. And in that magic article writer, here's the prompt that you want to use next. Okay, I'm not going to do it because it's failed 2 times. Okay, that's the prompt that you want to use next. Write the article section by section using at least 250 words per section. Okay, that's going to give you a much longer article. So if you want a longer piece of content, that's a good way to do it. What I would do, definitely would do, is take the article and put it into Claude afterwards and tell it, rewrite this article, keeping the same intent, and make it sound more human and less like AI, and optimize it for SEO and conversion. That's what I would do. And you will have 2 articles that you can compare side by side. You'll probably find that Claude is very, very good. It's getting better and better and better. Okay, so anyway, it's Parasite SEO. Let's jump over here. If you get any questions about that stuff, let me know. Okay, Joy, when you create an image in ChatGPT and it creates a link from ChatGPT, is that what we count as an authority backlink? If it's an outbound link, I guess that could count. It's the same if you embed a video, it's going to have a link to it. If you embed a YouTube video, it's going to have a link to YouTube. That would count as an outbound link in the same way. So I guess so, yeah. I hadn't thought about it, but your outbound links really only have to be relevant to the article and useful to the reader, as far as the intent. And it should meet the intent. So it should be, for example, if I am writing an article about how to bake a cake, and halfway down the article I've got an outbound link to somebody else's article, what is the best sugar to make to use for carrot cake or something like that, that would fit the intent. It would be useful information. So as long as it's useful, then I don't think it matters too much how many outbound links you have when it's useful. Okay, in that context, it has to be sort of contextually useful to the intent of the original article that they're reading. There will be SEOs that tell you don't put more than 2 or 3, and there'll be other SEOs that tell you it doesn't matter. I just think with SEO, people get too much into tactical stuff, and they get too much into details, and they fail a lot of times to focus on what matters, which is the helpful content and the conversions. Okay, we want people to stay on the page, and we want them to click something, a link to get them on an email list or buy something or whatever it might be. I think if you focus more on it being useful content, then things like the outbound links will take care of themselves, in the sense that you will know naturally what the outbound links are likely to be that will be helpful to that reader. Okay, just as long as it's helpful, it doesn't matter. And if it's an outbound link to ChatGPT or YouTube because you've got an embedded YouTube video, although it probably will count as an outbound link, it's not. It's, you want to add more. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But just make it helpful and useful and contextually make sense. Okay, so you can keep it user friendly. Okay, if you were reading that article as not the writer, somebody who's just reading it, if somebody had a link to something useful, a useful resource, then you think, oh, that's cool. It's a good article, and plus I've got resources as well that I can use. You just think along those lines. I don't think we need to get too tactical. And the internal links are a little bit more important, especially in your own websites. That's in my opinion a little bit more important. There's people who rank without backlinks just by using very, very good on-page SEO, very, very good content, and sort of correct internal linking as far as like what they got on their own sites. And you know, there's multiple strategies where we can get tactical with that kind of stuff when you're building reverse silos and that kind of stuff. But I don't want to go into that because it don't really help us with the Parasite SEO stuff. I might cover it in another Q&A session some point, where I'm just, you know, making sure that we got something interesting from it, something fun out of it. Okay, so question, David, you gave us a question about how to use SEP Recon and how they work together. Okay, well, two of them work together, and one of them is really just a research kind of thing. Okay, and how do we use it? Okay, so first, SEP Recon. The first thing with SEP Recon that I will tell you is that I use it right now only one way. Okay, I only use it one way. And the reason for that is because there's just one thing I really want to get out of it at the moment. That can change later, but at the moment, just one thing I want to get out of it, and that is to find out, you know, are parasites ranking for this bunch of keywords? So if this bunch of keywords was something like big funnels, okay, keep something simple that we all are familiar with, then what I would do is I would grab a whole bunch of keywords from keyword intent. And even this, it seems slow today. I wonder if it's my internet. Either that or we're going to get a ton of keywords back. While that's happening, let's go and do something. Oh, no one. Okay. I'll just take these keywords here. So I've got back 536 keywords. What I want to do is I want to filter it, make sure it includes the words, big funnels. And so I've got 500. I've got one more. I thought I had 560. Let's put the word funnel. See how many I've got now. 531. I've got even more now. Okay, let's take these 531 keywords. I'll just checkbox them and copy to clipboard. Okay, and then what I want to do then is when I'm into the SEP Recon, start a new project, and I'm going to put my keywords directly over here. Okay, I'm not going to put keywords here because I'm not going to be using any of these. Okay, I'm not interested in these right now. You would use these if you're looking for guest post opportunities or sponsored post opportunities. But if you just want to get some basic sort of cloud view feedback, like I want to do, that we can send to the Rank Recon, then this is the way to do it. So I'll just put in here for ClickFunnels. Okay, and add the project and start searching. Okay, so while that's gone off to search, what I can do is I can come over here to one we did before. Okay, and I'll just make sure I've got those parasite ones that are highlighted here so we can see. there's a ton of keywords for, there's a ton of rankings for keywords that are related to high ticket affiliate marketing that's coming from Parasites. Then all we're going to do here is we're going to send from here the highlighted ones to Rank Recon. Okay. Click on save, and that's going to go in here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the unhighlighted. Okay. And that's to go and find the blue ocean opportunities. I think we need to work on the prompts for that one a little bit more. And I want these two to be on the same tab. I don't want two separate tabs. When Gunpow's back at work, I'll get him to update that. But in the meantime, we can start processing. It's going to be the analysis one first. And then this one is going to be the blue ocean one. I don't know if I can click all three at the one time. No, I can't. I have to wait for, I think you can run more than one tab here, but you can't run two processes from the one tab. Okay, so you can run Serve Recon and Rank Recon at the same time, but you can't run two Rank Recons at the same time. So just have to wait for that. And that will come into the analysis. I'm just going over here and check. I'm curious. When we created the Google Sites poster, the reason I created that is because I found a website, I think it was called Markham Blog, something like that. And I realized that what this guy did was mass page building for ClickFunnels keywords. And he was ranking for thousands or so keywords, maybe even more. I can't remember. And I found them when I was using Ahrefs, and I was just like really shocked that somebody could be ranking with, you know, pretty much the same piece of content, but just targeting different keywords for a really competitive program like ClickFunnels. And so I thought, well, the best way that we could do this, instead of having to wait for weeks for your WordPress posts to get indexed and having to do a whole bunch of backlinks, I thought probably the best way to do this was to create, you know, like Google Sites post at that particular time. Google Sites were ranking quite well. So that's how that came about. It was actually from the ClickFunnels. And when we're using Parasites, we can bypass all the slowdown stuff that you would find on your own websites. So you don't have to, you know, create websites and that kind of stuff. You're just taking the post and you're putting it into the Parasite, and you're piggybacking off the authority of Parasite. Okay, let's see if we finish with a Rank Recon. Still analyzing. Okay, I'll need to come back to that, and let's see if we've got one here that we had before. Okay, so we've got an analysis here for payday loans. What it's for is really just to give us the information that we've got here. Okay, I will take it further, but right now it's just to give you an overview. Okay, so it's basically telling you the websites that are Parasites that are ranking, and it will give you information about the keywords and stuff like that. We've also built into it now. I hope he's managed to build it in now, the keywords, some keyword data stuff in here as well, just so you can have a broad overview. This is supposed to be used in the sense where you are still in your niche research kind of stage. You're just deciding, do I want to run a niche navigator campaign, and if so, how many do I want to run? Is it worth doing? Okay, it's Recon is, I could have just called it research. Okay, it's research stage stuff. It's just to give us an overview. We can tell quite quickly from here that, you know, for the keywords ClickFunnels or ClickFunnels related keywords, Parasites are going to do well. You can see there's a ton of medium.com, reddit.com, Quora, LinkedIn, etc., etc. We can see immediately from that. Okay, but what we can also see from the Rank Recon is we can get more specific, sort of digging deeper, that you might have tried to do yourself that would have taken time to dig into. This is basically just getting AI to do that for us in, you know, a few minutes. It's just one click, basically, so that we can get that information. So based on the insights, some recommendation, you know, Outlook India would be a good option. Quora.com would be a good option, and etc. etc. It's just telling you what it says. And these are the conclusions, hopefully, that you would have came to at the same time. Okay, it's just really to take that time off the research by getting AI to do the work for us. Okay, simple as that. That's all it was really created for. It's an overview. It's part of the niche research process. You can then take that information, and you might see from this that there are subtopic ideas, or you might decide that you want to dig deeper into subtopic ideas on whatever topic you've got. Okay, that's where the blue ocean is supposed to come in as well, because the blue ocean is supposed to analyze the keywords that are not ranking, and, you know, spot opportunities, because we know that parasites are ranking for that whole bunch of keywords that we've seen highlighted, but there's also a whole bunch of keywords that people might not have been optimizing for. That's what the blue ocean is for. Okay, so that's finished now. So now I can go into the blue ocean part, and I'll start processing here. Now it's asking for the CSV. Something not right there. I'm going to try that one more time from here. We'll go send to, unhighlighted, send it over, and let's see if we can start processing this. Now it's asking for the CSV. I thought he'd fixed that. I need to get him to fix it. Okay, so I'm going to filter first, remove if yes, and remove if no data. And we can always pull that back just by clicking that X. But now what I've got, I can export to CSV. So I can find it easy. Okay, so now in the rank recon, open. Did I put it in documents? Where did I put it? Sorry, 1 second. I can't remember where I put it. Where I put it. Export to CSV. That's in. Why is it not showing? Okay. I think what I'll do. I'm looking for my ParasiteSEO folder so I can find it. For some reason, I can't import the CSV now. Isn't that weird? It's not giving it. It's not giving me an option here to import a CSV. Only RTF file, which I cannot have an RTF file. I don't have an option for an RTF file. Weird. Let's see what that is. No. Sometimes when you update stuff, other things get affected. It doesn't let me bring it in. Let's see if we got a previous blue ocean here. Okay, we got one here. Okay. So we'll talk to you about the intent. Okay, so you've got 4 different types of intent that is mentioned here: informational, navigational, commercial, transactional, etc. And it's going to break down the keywords. Again, it's just research stuff that you might want to use. Okay, and at this point, you're not really thinking about what titles of articles you want to do, but it's giving you the suggestions. And when I'm using something like this, okay, I'm looking for sort of a guide, but a rough guide of where we can go with this. Okay, I can look at these suggested headlines and think to myself, well, can I realistically go and rank for those kind of keywords with the kind of content that we are doing? Okay, we need to have more information in here. We would want to have some information about what's on page 1 of the search results for the keywords that has been that would be targeted with these. Okay, I would want to have a breakdown a little bit more before I would make a decision on any particular title. Okay, we would want to possibly score it as well. This is kind of direction I want to take it in when Gunpowder comes back to work, so that we can maybe take this further where it makes a lot more sense and how we can use it. Right now, I haven't got it. Okay, all we got is an overview. If I'm looking at that niche with the information that we've got here for the payday loans for this, I'm probably going to be thinking to myself, well, if I'm going to rank for those kind of keywords, I'm going to need a lot of content. I'm going to have to hit it with multiple angles, and possibly I'm going to have to need I'm going to need to use sponsored posts from the top sponsored post site that is, you know, reasonably priced. Right now, that's Deccan Herald. I think Outlook India will make a big comeback quite soon. It kind of dropped traffic after one of the algorithms updates a month ago, I think. And up until then, it was ranking for, you know, just tons and tons and tons of keywords. I think it will come back though. And when it came down, then Deccan Herald came up. You will always see this. Well, I've always seen this. One comes down, another one comes up. You just got to spot what it is. And, you know, if I'm looking at that niche, and, you know, for the way ParasiteSEO Pro is right now, I don't want to get into that much of a competitive niche. I want to get the quick wins. Okay, the quick wins are going to be, you know, maybe some sort of derivative of this, where you might be doing a specific type of loan rather than just payday loans. So you might want to do for college students, or for, you know, you would go kind of longer tail in the subtopic, if that makes sense, where you're likely to find less competition, but you're going to find easier and quicker wins. Okay, and once you start to get the quick wins, then you start to build the momentum. Once you start to build the momentum, you start to feel you've got leverage, and then you can target the sort of bigger keywords. But if you're going to target niches that are really competitive, in my opinion, you're giving yourself extra work that you don't need to do. Okay, there are so many opportunities, especially for the high ticket stuff, that you won't have to give yourself so much work to do. Okay, I use this as part of the sales process for ParasiteSEO Pro, because everything is factual. You know, we can show the rankings and stuff that's happening within these platforms, but there is, you know, competition in that type of niche that we can easily avoid and probably get better results by taking something that's not as competitive, and where you can totally saturate and probably dominate. Okay, saturation doesn't always equal domination, but it comes down to the choices that you make in the research process. That's what this is designed to help you to see. Okay, and just in the cloud view, of course, we can take it further. I want to take it further, but right now we haven't got there yet. And when Gunpowder comes back to work, it's one of the things that we will put into the to-do list to get done. But now he has access to the same API that we use for the keyword intent tool. That means we can do a lot more when it comes to that stuff. We've got the ability now that we didn't have when we first built ParasiteSEO Okay, we only got access to that last week. It was a different developer who built keyword intent. It wasn't Gunpal. Okay, I paid him some money, got access to that API, gave it to Gunpal, and told him use it and put it inside Parasite SEO where it makes sense. Okay, and here's some suggestions. So we will take it further now that we got that API. We can take it further. Okay. And this stuff here, just related to keywords, you can see it's suggesting some stuff with geographical and different subtopics, etc. But if this was in a niche, say for example that stuff we were looking at with the jewelry niche, where there was some suggestions about what kind of engagement ring, and it was getting even more specific about the types of engagement rings, and even going into some ethical questions about it and stuff like that. Those kind of niches, when you dig into the subtopics, are going to be far less competitive and more achievable for you to saturate and dominate, okay, than something like a payday loans. Okay. Another way that you could use this very, very well, not so much for the recon, but just the strategy of going somewhere where it's not overly competitive, but there's potentially good profit margin in it, would be for product launches. And I'm not talking about the JVZoo kind of stuff, although you could do it for if you were promoting like the bundle deals that they start to do now. But instead, if you were looking at the big sort of $2,000 kind of product launches that come out, probably weekly, it's not daily like on Warrior Plus and JVZoo, but probably weekly or every 2 weeks. Those kind of launches are happening all the time. Those are going to be easier to rank than evergreen. So if you want to get into ClickFunnels niche, there's already a ton of affiliates. Okay, if you want to go into a new product launch, yeah, there will be quite aggressive affiliate competition, but with the ability you've got with a tool like this to go and saturate, you're probably going to be dominating in multiple areas that other people just can't match because they don't have the technology to be able to do it. It's just about horses for courses for how you approach it. But to answer the question, it was just simply to give us a cloud view, because if I'm looking at these results, okay, I've got questions. My questions are being answered now with AI here. Okay, the questions I would have that I might want to dig into. Okay, what kind of keywords are they targeting? What is the long tail keywords? Okay, and I would be asking multiple questions like that. And for me to go and do that manually, it's going to take time. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted something that would just give me a cloud view, get AI to tell me in a nutshell what I need to know. That's all. That's all it was. But we can take it further. Okay. Magic Recon. No, this is kind of different in the sense that we are basically asking it to break down niches on a basic level, but really useful information level. Okay. So it's suggesting, did you see the one I did in the guide, the PDF guide? That was actually a good example where I asked it to give me 20 niches for high ticket affiliate marketing. And so it was talking about things like jewelry, it was talking about internet marketing, software products, etc., 20 different sort of subtopics that would fit into the high ticket kind of affiliate offers. And then when you've got this, it will go into the details and start digging out keywords, and each of the keywords would then give us a whole bunch more information. So this sort of subtopic here has these keywords, and this subtopic has also got LSI keywords, it's got related keywords, it's got long tail keywords, it's got the type of content that's ranking. Again, this is the kind of questions that you would have to sort of manually do otherwise. I mean, you should always, before you go and target any keyword, you should always go and have a look at the first page of Google. See what kind of content is there. You don't need to do that because it's here. It gets done in a single click for you. Okay. That's, again, it's a time saver, but it's giving us information. And if you pick up one of these and you think, actually, that's a good angle, that's a good, potential piece of content that I can build here, then you've got, decent amount of information here that will help you to get started the right way with that information, if that's what you wanted to do. What we do need to add in here as well is the EEAT tool that will go and create like single articles, kind of similar to what this was supposed to do here, but all completely automated, that you're not sort of going back and forth with the GPT kind of thing, and that we can knock out multiple of them at one time in a single click, okay? Because we can do prompt sequences, whereas a GPT cannot, okay? So that's the advantage we got over GPTs. So with this kind of information, that will be possible when we have that tool. But in the meantime, we can still see, you know, some good suggestions and get some good ideas about keywords. And it's a cloud view of stuff you would do manually. I would definitely be doing a lot of that manually if I was digging into a particular niche, especially if I'm thinking about doing content where I might be hiring editors or writers, or I'm putting extra money. If you think about it pre-chat GBT time, it was not, that was only about a year ago. And you know what we would have had to do like a year ago, when it would have been far more manual, even though there was AI tools out there. They're all using the same API, they're all using it in the same way, they're all doing the same damn thing, really, to selling the same product. Some were better than others in how they were prompting and stuff like that, but there was no kind of uniqueness that really stood out, and there was still a whole bunch of manual work that you would have to do. So even if you were using a combination of Jasper and Surfer, or any of those kind of well-known ones, you know, some people were using both, and some people were even using spinning tools so that they get different unique versions, and then they would go and do the article again, etc. It was still kind of semi-manual work going on there, and you would still have to do the research stuff. Okay, now since ChatGPT, everything has changed. You know, everybody just got far more interested, far more creative with it, and the stuff that we would have to do then, now it's automated. So you know, of course, we can take them further. I read something on, I can't remember if it was a blog post or on Twitter, but somebody was saying, like, if you are not embarrassed about the first version of your product, you're doing something wrong. And it's very true. If you notice in the that new membership area, I didn't put the webinar replays for webinar 1, webinar 2. It wasn't because I was lazy. It's because it just feels irrelevant now. That stuff that was there then, we've taken it so much further, even in that short period of time, that will be taken further again. I'll probably look back on what we have here right now with a little bit of embarrassment, you know, 3 months down the line, this kind of thing. And that's the way it should be, because there should always be that evolution, that always be that taking it further and you know, making it better, so that this becomes not just informational, but it becomes instructional as well, in the sense that here's what you really need to do. Okay, I've analyzed all this. Instead of just giving me the information, it's actually saying, here is what you need to go and do. Go and create an article that is about this topic, and here is the outline, and send it, you know, have here, like, send to the EEAT tool. Something like that. That's probably where it's heading in about, you know, a few weeks from now. But you know, at the moment, recon is research, okay, and yeah, we can take it further, but we have to just be a little bit patient. It will come, okay. PDF guides, yeah, you mean on the actual okay, if we are creating a PDF for, you know, like, enter a project name and enter your niche, is that what you mean, or are you talking about something different? I need to understand, because we've made this like it's kind of minimal input for most of the tools. especially the recon tools, etc. Let's see if we can find one that's a little bit more. I mean, it's all kind of self-explanatory. Most of it, where you would probably want to know more here would be these tools here in the Outlook Edge. And what we tried to do there is put that description there that would just tell you in a nutshell what it was, and together with, you know, what it's asking here, I just didn't think that it would be the most sort of urgent thing that we needed to do when we were building up to launching it. But this one here definitely needs to change. I'll probably take this one out and put something completely different here for the Outlook Edge fresh review. I don't even know how to use this one. Even though the input looks simple, it's still needing more explanation. I don't even know. I don't even think this is the way that I described it to be. And I put everything in a Google Doc, and when I give it to Gunpowder and say, this is what it must do. You know, sometimes I put, you know, step by step and multiple prompts, and, you know, the description, the explanation, and everything goes into it so that it can be very, very clear for him to know exactly what to build. Let me know what you mean, and if you think it would be useful to have something. But most of the tools is, I mean, just enter project name, enter your topic, and then, you know, compare it to URL, wherever. It's kind of, I didn't feel anything like that was a priority. I just needed to do some quick videos and, you know, try and explain what each tool was. And Stephanie put some, I think she put some bullet points underneath each one as well. But let me know, and we can make it easy, easier if you need it to be made easier. Yeah. Where can you find listings for high-end products? You mean high-ticket affiliate programs? I put a couple of Google Docs or Google Sheets into that Facebook page. There was another one that I did have, and I couldn't find it when I was going through my Google Drive the other day, and I remember I had some stuff, but I think I had 3 in total. Now we found 2. I'll have another look. I'll try and search for that again. But there was one that had something like 8,000 programs, if I'm not mistaken. The thing is with the high ticket stuff, that they're mostly coming from networks, okay, like Commission Junction, ClickBank, or, you know, if you break it down into a specific niche, if you were using, for example, the Magic Recon, and you put in here like high ticket affiliate marketing as your topic, okay, or the niche, it's going to give you a whole bunch of suggestions for subtopics for high ticket affiliate marketing, like gold, yachts, and you can use Magic Recon for that, so you can have just a very quick, brief overview, and you can go from there into Google and search for affiliate programs. I think as well there are some affiliate marketing forums that will probably have a list. I'll have a look during the week next week. I'm going to be busy for the next couple of days. I'm not going to be able to do it until next week. But in some affiliate marketing forums, we can probably find suggested stuff, as well as new stuff that is coming out, where they go into the forums and say, hey guys, we got a new program, and here's what you can earn, and stuff like that. There's 2 ways to look at it. If you're looking at in our niche, like this sort of marketing niche, okay, it's going to be the new launches coming out, and it's going to be the evergreen stuff being things like hosting, webinar softwares, funnel builders, page builders, and autoresponders, etc. Okay. And the new stuff coming out, like the product launches, that's kind of easy to sort of differentiate and see and have a sort of clear direction. When you go into niches that you're not that familiar with, then you will have to do some digging until we can see. I really want to get the Claude API. Claude is good at this, where you can say to it, suggest to me trending topics for Christmas 2023. In fact, I did that today. Okay, you can also go in there and say, like, suggest to me like high ticket products, actual programs that are popular for 2023 in the gold niche, yacht niche, whatever. It will do research from the internet. So, you know, when you do a search for best high ticket affiliate programs, then there's a good chance it's going to be going through those articles and picking up the information from those articles and then feeding that back to you, just in a different way from what you would read it if you were doing the manual search yourself. Some of those sites as well, if you look at their footer, they've got a whole bunch. There's one in particular, but I can't remember what it's called. So there's one in particular, he's got like high ticket jewelry programs, high ticket insurance programs, high ticket dating programs, etc. He has a whole list of them right in the bottom of his footer, and I'm thinking, wow, man, you just saved you know, a huge amount of time for someone or a few people who might have been wondering, you know, what kind of niches, high ticket niches they could go for. But for specific programs, it's really going to come down to just, you know, looking in Google until we can build a tool that will be specific to, you know, go and prompts for the first sort of base of information, and probably go about 5 or 6 prompts deep, so that we're not just getting information, well, there's this program and that program, but we want to be able to get data to back it up as well, like how much it's selling for, how long is the affiliate cookies, and what is the commissions, and what is the pricing structures. And you want to get more of that kind of information in a table kind of thing, where you've got, you know, more coming back. Again, the AI is going to get us there, but I haven't got it right now. It's one of those things that will be worked on as soon as we can. If Cloud API becomes available to us, I know that they've done a limited release, so they're going to give it to the big guys first. But when it starts to become available for us to be able to use, then we can dig in a lot deeper as well with that kind of stuff. The difference is with ChatGPT, it's using Bing to access the internet to go and search. Okay, we did build a workaround, but it's still